Hello, welcome to One on One. I'm your host, Greg Walker. I hope you tuned in last week to show number 1. As our guest is Austin Peay State University men's basketball coach Matt Figure. We got to know the coach much better last week. We got to get his background from Kentucky on that Kentucky-West Virginia border, all the way up to his days as an assistant coach and under Frank Martin and John Pelfrey and others, to bringing him here to Austin Peay. Today, we're going to find out about the Govs coming up for 2017-2018. We'll look at the Valley, and we'll just talk some hoop with the head coach. Settle back, relax. A fun, down-to-earth conversation once again with Austin Peay head man Matt Figure right after these words.
It's the Bottom Line Model Year-End event at Matthews Nissan, Clarksville's favorite new car dealer.
You're going to love our selection.
Save big on remaining 2017s. Lease a new Altima, $189 per month. Lease a new Rogue Sport, $159 per month. Or lease a new Sentra, $149 per month. Unbelievable. MatthewsNissan.com.
You're going to love our prices.
You're going to love our prices. Matthews Nissan.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
For 100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchman Funeral Home has offered ways to live well and plan ahead, a legacy that can make all the difference to your family.
Neil Tarpley Parchman, people who care, a name you can trust.
Welcome to our show today. Once again, Austin Peay head basketball coach Matt Figure joins us. Pleasure having you back, Coach.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for having me.
You know, we had a good show with you last week. I think we got to know you a little bit, and we want to talk a little more basketball. I think where we ended last week was you coming to Clarksville to interview and to get this job. What interested you most about the Austin Peay head post?
You know, I've said this a few times to people because they always ask the question, well, how does it feel to follow a guy who's been had such a great run, the all-time winningest coach in the Ohio Valley Conference, a guy who's, has set the standard for Austin Peay basketball for 27 years. And I say, it's a great feeling for me. And they go, kind of look at me because I look at the security and the things that Coach Luce did. 27 years being at one place means, there was a lot that he liked about the university. There was a lot that he liked about the city. And vice versa.
There's a lot they liked about
him. Absolutely. And so, in this turbulent world of coaching changes where, after a loss, whether it be at home or on the road or whatever, the internet is now calling for the head coach's job. This place has a passion for basketball. And so that was really intriguing to me.
Sure.
And just knowing the tradition, being in Kentucky, knowing the Ohio Valley Conference, coaching in Indiana, coaching in Illinois, all of it's in the southern part of the state. You had the Ohio Valley right there. So I had a historical knowledge of Austin Peay, and that made me really comfortable with the job.
What was the first thing you did as a head coach?
Literally, after accepting the position and everything, the one thing I didn't want to do, so you kind of understand who I am as a person. I had interviewed for the job. We kept winning. We went to the Final Four.
Right.
The job was offered to me.
Yes.
The one thing that I needed to do, that I didn't want to be a distraction for our team.
I understand.
I didn't want to distract from the task at hand. The task at hand was winning the national championship.
Absolutely.
And
that's what we play. You play for,
absolutely. And 24 years in a journey to be able to be in a place that only few people have ever been. That you've had thousands and thousands of guys who coach college basketball through the history. Only so many people have had a chance to walk through that tunnel and play in a Final Four. So I needed to concentrate on my team, the guys I was coaching. I owed it to those players. I owed it to Frank to do the job the right way. So I remember sending Dr. White a text saying, just trust me. I'm a man of my word. You've got my word. I want to be your next coach. But I've got 13 players. I've got coaches. I got this. I got that I owe, giving everything I've got in my body to them. So
couldn't agree more.
That was my whole thing. So I didn't think about all the what everybody else was talking about.
Right.
I wouldn't think. I would refuse to think about it. Which that's just who I am. I can't be committed to two different things.
Did you know what you were getting as far as personnel was concerned when you took this job?
Not really. Not really. I mean, there was.
So that wasn't a factor.
No,
how much or how little you had.
No, that wasn't. That had no play into it. Like I said, going back, just the history of the program, the job that Coach Luce had done, the proximities of where Clarksville is and the university is. Those were the things that were appealing to me.
Let's talk just a little bit. I don't want you to go into great detail because we got so much to do on the show today, but your coaching staff, you've told me you're very happy with it. And I don't know even what order you want, but let's just start, and I guess I've got these names right, with Rick Cabrera.
Rick was a kid that I actually coached at Vincennes back in the mid-'90s. Rick I've been in touch with Rick as a person. He's an unbelievable person. I hired him because of his loyalty to me, number one, and also because of the fact that he's got a great knowledge of this league. He was the associate head coach at Tennessee Tech.
Yes, he was.
He was a double-figure scorer at Tennessee Tech when he was a player back in the mid-late 90s.
Yep.
So he has a plethora of knowledge of the league. So, and he has a real comfort level with Tennessee. So that was one. I wanted to get someone who that knows the landscape around here.
I understand. Is it Delonte Hill?
Delonte, yeah.
Delonte.
Delonte Hill was with me on staff at Kansas State. We were both assistant coaches for Frank Martin at Kansas State. Delonte also coached at the University of Maryland. So, and he's a great recruiter. I don't think I would like to be labeled as a recruiting guy because Delonte's a better basketball coach than he is a recruiter. But with that being said, he signed a lot of really good players while we were at Kansas State.
What I hear, he's just a great coach.
He is. Very fortunate to have him on my staff. He's one of the guys that I trust. He's been through it with me, so he has an understanding of what we want to accomplish here.
Sure. Of course, Hayden McClain, most of us know Hayden. He's not a newcomer, but he's one outstanding young man.
When I got here on campus, Hayden had all the answers for me.
He's great.
And
what a family also.
And I seen how everyone interacted with Hayden, and I said I've got to figure out a way to keep him on my staff. But I've added Sergio Rocco, obviously, to my staff, and Sergio is kind of the veteran guy. He has been a head coach at the Division I level at Florida International University from 2004 to 2009. Serge has also been a professional head coach in Venezuela and Dominican Republic.
Boy, that's a great experience.
He's also been, also coached at Ole Miss in South Florida. So very, very grateful to have him a part of our staff.
You've got a well-experienced staff,
no question. No question.
You really do. You really do. Now, the players that you brought in coming back, you've only got 4 coming back from what was on the team last year. So you're going to have to get a program when you come to the games, folks. And we're not going to talk about them as much because, number one, the people know them. Chris Porter-Bunton, Zach Galata, Trey Ivory, and Steve Harris. They're the 4 returnees. and I'm sure I'll destroy this name because it's not the player I have first on the list here. Of course, the big kid from Ontario, Ivan Kucek.
Chuchek.
Yeah, Chuchek.
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 Tell us about Chuchek, and let me write that.
Ivan's a 7-foot skilled passing kid. Got a high basketball IQ. He played at Don Bosco Prep for a friend of mine, Dave Maravella, who is a very good basketball coach within itself. Ivan's a native Serbian that his family moved to Canada, and he played up in Indiana. So I was really happy. He was the first kid that said that he wanted to come here. He's a kid that's 7 feet, 235 pounds.
And he can chew gum and run at the same time.
He can do it. Yeah, no, he can do it. I think people will be very happy with him because he's got a really good feel how to play. He can score with his back to the basket. He can really pass. And he's got good touch. He can shoot the ball out to the three-point line. So he's a very skilled guy. I would say he's more of a skilled guy than a powerful player right
only
now.
a freshman now, Coach.
Yeah.
I mean, folks.
Yeah, no, and he's going to get some good opportunities early.
A young man we've already talked about earlier, Ed Stevens. He's the grad transfer from South Carolina State. Got an injury right now, but tell us about it.
Ed, I've got familiarity with because he's from Columbia, South Carolina. So I've seen his when he was in high school. I've seen his high school team play. He was a kid that played at South Carolina State. Was a all MEAC selection guy. Averaged 15 points a game his sophomore year. Scored 1,000 points in 3 years of play and had over 1,000 at South Carolina State. And he's coming to Austin Peay with aspirations of being a point guard to try to make money at the next level. And he
knows we need a point guard.
He has a trust and a belief in me of relationships. So and he can really shoot the ball. Ed's got a little setback right now with a knee injury, but he'll be ready to go come start of season.
Deshaun Martin, he's a junior from Chipola JUCO in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Deshaun is a kid who is every bit 6'6", 215-pound, really athletic.
Cut well.
Yeah, he can move. He can move. Runs in transition. He can play. He can drive it. He can post. He'll be able to play some multiple spots for us. Plan on playing him at the small forward, maybe a little bit to four. But he's also an experienced guy that I'm going to depend on for leadership and experience.
Another freshman, Dayton Gum, out of Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Probably the most improved kid that I've had over the course of the summer, workout-wise. I think people will be really surprised at how athletic he is. I think he was, finished in the top 6 or something like that in Kentucky State High School in the 100-yard dash, or 100-meter dash, I should say. When he jumps, it looks like he's jumping off a trampoline. He's really athletic.
And can stroke it.
Yeah, he shoots the ball really well. Led the state of Kentucky in three-point field goal percentage. So really happy with him as an addition to our team.
Head coach, Matt Figure. We got more players we're going to talk about with the coach when we come back right after this.
The Leaf Chronicle is now available on every device you carry or don't carry. All things Clarksville in all media 24/7. Subscribe now for full access.
Welcome back. This is show number 2 with our guest the last 2 weeks, the head coach at Austin Peay State University for the men's basketball team, Matt Figure, embarking on his first year as the governor's head mentor. And we've had a lot of fun with Coach Figure this show and a half. We're talking about players on this year's roster, and really we're talking about the newcomers because we took for granted that everyone knows about Chris Porter Bunton, Zach Galata, Trey Ivory, and Steve Harris. We've seen them. Talk about players, another freshman, Richard Henderson, Coach.
He's one that Coach Lou signed. One of the guys, freakish athlete, long arm, 6'5", 6'6", high motor kid, should be a great rebounder for us. Going to have to throw him out there. All these guys are going to get an opportunity to play. That's the one great thing, Greg, is that all these guys are going to get a chance to play. I believe in strength by numbers, and I believe in if I bring a kid here and he does the things he's supposed to do, he's going to get a chance to play. Richard's going to be a kid. He's 6'6", 220 pounds. He's real athletic. One of these guys I can move around and play at a lot of different spots. I expect him to really have a chance to compete.
And another freshman from Bowling Green, Kentucky, played at Bowling Green High. He's supposed to be special out here, Terry Taylor.
Good player, really good player. He was MVP of the Kentucky State Tournament. Another guy, just kind of like Richard, long arm, strong built kid, high volume rebounding guy. I've been really impressed with him during the summer. He's been here with us the whole summer. He's another one of the kids that Coach Luce left behind for me to be able to have an opportunity to coach. And
was he a small forward?
Small forward, power forward type kid. He just has a knack to go rebound the ball. And the great thing is, kid's only 17 years old, so he's really young. He could be a senior in high school right now.
Now, that's only 10 players. That's 6 and the 4 returnees. But I know you got more on the line. What's
we've got 2 more guys that'll be here on campus come Monday, and I've got a kid in on an official visit coming up. We have 2 kids from Spain. I've got a 6'6" point guard, a kid named McCoyden McCarthy, who played in the Jordan Brand Europe, Africa national game. He's been on the Spanish national team since he was 14 years old. So, yeah, he's long, athletic, can play the point.
So we've got some competition at the point.
Yes. We've got him. Got another kid named Jawan. You'll love the pronunciation. Jawan Ferran Benarcier.
Ferran Benarcier.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be fun to call.
A 6'6" shooter, knows how to play.
Ferran Benarcier.
And then we have a kid coming in
We'd nickname him.
Yeah, no question. We have another kid, Chad Culbreth, who you might remember played at Murray State his freshman year.
Yeah.
Went to junior college at John A. Logan Junior College. So those guys are on the roster.
That's 4 more, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to have 14 probably.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you say it.
At least.
I got you.
At least. So no, I'm happy with the guys that we're bringing in. That's a credit to my coaching staff. It wasn't really nothing that I did. Those guys did all the legwork and all this, and I just kind of was there as a figurehead.
So breaking it down, and I know you, but point guard, 2 guard, small forward, power forward, center. Have we got a good nucleus here? Mitch, where are we going to be like?
I would like to have as much size as possible. Obviously that's harder to come by in the late recruiting period than you'd like. But really,
because you don't want to give a scholarship just to give a scholarship.
No.
I hate that.
I like to say there's only 2 positions. There's on the floor and on the bench. So, that's kind of the way. And I got to adjust my. Now, the one thing I won't adjust is how we're going to guard and defend and do all those things. But
so what you're getting ready to say, and I was going to ask you, and I'm glad. Do you have a style that you coach and try to recruit to, or do you develop your coaching to the players that you have on hand?
I think you have to have a culture and a style defensively. I think you have or offensively. Take your pick. Some coaches are different, but I think you have to have an identity. Our identity is going to be defense. We're going to really pressure the ball. We're going to deny the passing lanes. I like to use a lot of football terms.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's like having a chance to blitz the quarterback every time, and it's a lot of one-on-one
I love
coverage.
to put pressure on the quarterback.
A lot of like if the corners have one-on-one coverage out there, there's going to be a lot of that. And what I want to do is I want to make players not be able to pass the ball. I want to make them have to dribble it, because I feel like that if the first pass is easy, then the second pass becomes easier. So we want to make that first pass hard, and we also want to not let guys pass. So the guys who don't catch the ball gets mad at the guy that has the ball in his hands. That's kind of the philosophy. I would just want to create a little chaos on the court and make the opponent get mad at one another.
Yeah, frustrated.
Yeah. Now offensively, obviously, I think you gotta curtail the things to your talent and to what you can and cannot do. So I think that's where you have to adjust. Defensively, I want to have numbers. That's why, my whole thing is to play the way we play.
You got
to have fresh guys, because you got to be able to wear down the opponent, and you can't do that playing six guys. It's impossible. You can't if you're going to pressure. And
the John Wooden style is not you.
No.
Having that one sub or that seventh man you may go to.
No. If he's in a jersey and he practices the right way, he's going to play. So we could play all 14 guys in one game. That's just you bring kids into play.
What about the hot hand? You leave the hot hand alone?
If the hot hand has it going that night, yeah, you got to play that guy.
Yeah, I mean, you're not taking him out, though, are you?
Well, if he's not guarding anyone, I'm going to take him out. If he's not guarding anyone, he's not playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if he's got the hot hand?
He's going to – guys that score the ball, it's my job to help him become a better defensive player. If he's giving effort defensively, I'm going to play him. But if he's not putting no effort out there, I'm not playing him. But the one thing I will say is that you can't substitute scoring. You need a guy who can score.
So we're not going to see a lot of zone out of you.
I would prefer not. That depends on obviously a lot of things. Health of your players,
personnel, matchups.
There's so many things that come into play.
I agree.
The one thing that we did that allowed us to throw a changeup at teams in the NCAA tournament this past year was with all of our pressure stuff that we do, and just like every good quarterback, you pressure Peyton Manning or Tom Brady.
They're going to make mistakes.
They're going to make mistakes early, but they'll eventually adjust.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to throw a changeup at them.
Absolutely.
And we will play a little 1-2-2 back to 3-2 zone, which
mix it up a little bit.
I don't want to be conventional. Most teams when you see play zone, they play 2-3. Well, I don't want to be like most teams. I want to be different. So we're going to try to do a little things different with our team.
Coach Matt Figure, stretch run. Good segment right after this. Good job.
Lisa New Sentra, $149 per month. New Titan, 0% APR financing. Great selection, great savings.
You're gonna love our prices. Matthews Nissan.
For 100 years, Neil Tarpley Parchment Funeral Home has celebrated legacies with services as unique as each life.
Neil Tarpley Parchment, people who care, a name you can trust.
It's the Bottom Line Model Year-End event at Clarksville's favorite new car dealer. Lease a new Altima, $189 per month. Lease a new Rogue Sport, $159 per month. You're going to love our prices. MatthewsNissan.com.
Welcome back, Stretch Run. We've only got a couple of minutes left. I want you to know it's been 2 fun shows with you, Coach.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, I've enjoyed it. What's the best advice Matt Figure's ever received?
Probably stay true to who you are as a person.
Well,
stay consistent.
Yeah, I like that advice.
And a side note, probably you can't win a Kentucky Derby with a jackass.
You cannot, buddy. I love that one, too. I've used that one. What characteristic, let me ask you this one. What's your truest sign of success as a person and as a coach?
I think they both go hand in
Interlock?
hand. Yeah, interlock hand in hand. I think being able to impact a young man's life.
It's special.
You know, when you can take a kid and help just be a part of his life and help him become a man.
Yeah.
I think you've done your job as a person. And I think winning and losing takes care of itself when you're impacting people like that.
Right. And same way in life.
Same way.
Way.
I think when you contribute to someone else's success, then you've done your job. We all get judged on wins and losses, but ultimately I think I'd like to be judged on my kids' success in life.
That's great. Some quickies here. Favorite sports team to root for?
Pro or college?
Pro.
Because I don't root for any colleges. Let's see. Besides my employer.
Austin P.
Besides my employer.
Yeah.
Pro. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steeler fan?
Mm-hmm.
Was old Chuck Noll fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steel Curry.
Them and Tom Landry. I always like watching both those guys.
Do you? And I'm a Redskin fan.
Yeah, I would.
Always have been.
Always Redskin.
Coach, it's been a pleasure, man.
Pleasure.
Wish you nothing but success at the P. And hope everybody gets out to support them. Season tickets, get yours now. For head coach Matt Figure, for Steve Sawyer behind the scenes, for yours truly, Greg Walker, tell your friends, neighbors, and loved ones about the show. And remember, anyone I know, meet, or talk with is a potential guest. Until next time, have a nice rest of the day, folks.